Hey guys, how's it going? It is Smalls Gaming, and today we're going to be talking about this one crazy match that I ended up having for BR. And this was a solo BR match, but this was all filled with basically all campers. But I wanted to share this gameplay because it was a very fun, inducing gameplay. There's a lot of what's it called? Suspense and everything. But this was actually one of my favorite matches for solo, and one of the wins I ended up recording. So I heard this player right above me, and once he stopped moving, I knew he was gonna probably camp one of the stairs. Ended up camping this one, and in this one I actually ended up getting down to 1 HP. So I'll be trying to show you what my mindset throughout this. So right here, I ended up hearing a player right outside or something. Ended up seeing in that house, and I knew he saw me. I knew I had to shoot, like I had to have a quick reaction because I knew he saw me. But instead of taking that fight, because either A, he was gonna push me, or B, he thought I was gonna push him, so I decided to push away. And luckily I did, because he ended up throwing his clown skill, the one that spawns in the zombies. But luckily I ended up running away. So right here, I ended up going upstairs, or not upstairs. I went uphill to go find some heals. So for solos, I basically like running a shotgun if I can, especially at Echo. So I'm not gonna try to have this gameplay long. So I had a lot of like switches or transitions. There you go. Ended up here in this player in this house right here. And I knew he heard me, and I knew he ended up deciding to camp me out. I think what I should have done was drop him some bandages, because he was definitely low. Because I ended up one-shotting him with the Echo. Now I don't know why he didn't use it. The adrenaline, I believe. Yeah, there you go. There's gonna be a lot of transitions in this video, just because if not, this would have been like a 20-minute video. Luckily I ended up toning it down to 10 minutes. So I ended up Trickster actually lets you hear footsteps a lot farther away, so I ended up hearing this player outside. And it was kind of crazy because I ended up hearing him right here. He shot me right here, but he decided to push right away. And luckily he ended up hitting me, so that was kind of good. Trickster, I think, is the best solo. If you're playing solos, I think this would be the best perk you can use or skill, just due to the fact that you can hear footsteps a lot farther than you normally can. So that's why I've been rocking it, and it really can make a difference. So right here, I was just looting. I just want to show you this clip right here, because I ended up seeing a random trap master. But normally what I do is go loot farm, which has been my go-to location to drop in for BR. So once I loot a bit of it, I'll rush everything pretty much. And a lot of this gameplay was me just driving around. So luckily pretty much everything was pretty easy to spot. So he ended up fighting the boss, but I couldn't really see it, so it was kind of crazy. He ended up dying to the butcher, as you can see in the kill feed. I even have another gameplay that I'll have to show you guys, but that won't be till next week at least. So it was kind of crazy that I actually didn't see the butcher. So I just went to go loot him real quick. And I ended up, once I heard that boss, I ended up getting a little bit scared. I personally don't like fighting the boss in solos, just due to the fact that once you give your position away, that like 4 people will go to you. Right here, I ended up hearing a player inside, and I ended up seeing the player go upstairs, but it was the wrong player, because I ended up hearing a trap master. But I don't know how to play this, but luckily I ended up playing it very smart. I decided to jump through the window just in case he was behind the door. but he wasn't, and I knew exactly where he was. Right here, you can see me picking through my grenades. I wanted a cluster grenade, but I ended up using a flash, and the flash actually ended up helping me in this situation, because he couldn't see me and didn't end up hitting me. Just know players like these, there's going to be a lot of players like these in solos, so that kind of sucks. But luckily I have not been hit, I have yet to be hit with a trap master. I play very cautiously. And then, oh, and I also got my AK-47 already. I don't like carrying the normal grenades just because, what's it called? Clusters are much more effective, so I like carrying those. I ended up carrying more adrenalines just in case I ended up going against a camp or something. But I have tricks with that, so that would have helped me a lot more. So in this place, I ended up hearing some players. I decided to shoot. Ended up lasering them a bit, not that much, because those two players ended up fighting. But I also heard a sniper, so I decided to stay away. Actually, now that I'm looking at the gameplay, he was on the stairs, so he probably couldn't even see me. But yeah, in solos I like driving around a lot just to find some players. So this was not the sniper, I think the other one was, that you're about to see. I ended up seeing right there. That's why Poltergeist is a very bad skill to use. Just because you can actually see the player. Right here you can see me struggle a little bit. So right here I'm just hitting my armor just because my armor ended up being very low. And I also heard an NA45 user. There's like 3 NA45 users that ended up hearing. And then I ended up killing one of them. Right here, I ended up going for my bike, trying to go to my bike to go to zone. But right here, I ended up playing very smart because I had to reload, so that wouldn't have been enough to kill him. Luckily, he didn't do a lot of damage to me. But I always like rocking the bike just due to the fact that it's one of the fastest vehicles in the game. Or the chopper, but farm doesn't have choppers. Okay, I'm just healing real quick and start driving to zone. Right here, I just finished killing a bot and then end up hearing a player in here. I hear his footsteps. And that's why I think this is super effective. That's why I like Trickster, because if I probably didn't have Trickster, I probably wouldn't have hurt him. But luckily I did. So I equipped my cluster grenade. And right here, I end up being inside top of the building, and this player actually ends up knowing where I am. Because he ends up throwing a grenade. Ends up doing a little bit of damage, around 50 HP. If I could probably still take that fight. End up popping another one, and he throws another one. And this one does a lot more damage. This one does around 198, around there. So I decided to move from that spot because he definitely knows where I am now. But he's not in zone, so I have the upper hand right here. And I'm looking around for him because he definitely knows I either left or I'm looking for him. And I know I see him. He doesn't know I see him. Ends up getting very low. He ends up having a lot more adrenalines, and he was the one with the NA45. Right here, I hear the scout, and I know he either definitely knows where I am. So I have to play very smart here. I have to use my cover for an advantage. If you guys haven't seen my video on cover, you should definitely watch on why you should use cover. That's why I'm using this. Anything can really be used as cover. Right here, I'm trying to play very smart. I hear the player, but I just don't know exactly where he is. So I decided to throw a cluster grenade. And here's the reason why I like cluster grenades is because once that first grenade blows up, many projectiles blow up as well. And I ended up seeing this player, I guess he was AFK or something, checking something through his backpack. We're almost here at that last player, so Right here, I'm trying to get the player. I already ended up getting the other player. So right here, I'm trying to throw a cluster inside the building, but I failed miserably with those two cluster grenades. So with this, I throw Nova Gas. Never ends up leaving the spot. But that's how I won. 14 kills ended up getting. I honestly don't know how I got it. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.